You're either breaking generational anger or refining it. There is no neutral, and most of us dads don't know which one we're doing. I'm Alec. Welcome back to Fatherhood Unscripted. You guys, none of us wake up and say, like, I'm going to pass my anger down to my kids. That just doesn't happen. It doesn't feel that dramatic. It feels like a long day. Our anger feels like stress. It feels like disrespect. It feels like we're just being overwhelmed. And the dangerous part, guys, is most anger, it doesn't feel wrong in the moment. It feels earned. You know, you worked all day. You're tired. The house is loud. Someone spilled something. Someone talked back. Someone ignores something you said 5 seconds ago, and something in you starts to rise. It's fast. It's hot. It's automatic. And you don't plan it. You're not thinking about your legacy in that moment. You just react. And here's the tension, guys. Your kids won't remember what caused your anger. They're just gonna remember how it felt when all of a sudden dad is screaming or yelling or turning into this big monster, because that's how they see us. We talk a lot about breaking generational patterns, but let's get honest, guys. Most generational patterns don't look extreme. They just look normal. Maybe your dad didn't hit you. Maybe your dad didn't scream at you every day. Maybe he just had an edge. Maybe you could feel that mood the second he walked into the room. Maybe you learned how to read the temperature of the house and the room before you learned how to read books. That is generational anger. It's not violence. It's just the atmosphere. The atmosphere in our homes shapes our kids. When you grew up scanning rooms for tone changes, you don't call that trauma. You just call it normal until you become a dad and hear your own tone come out of your mouth. That's when it hits you. That's the moment where you snap and immediately think, I sounded just like him. And you swore that you wouldn't be like him. Here's the truth, guys. Anger transfers easier than wisdom. Okay? It's faster, it's louder, it leaves a way stronger impression. Wisdom takes repetition, calm takes effort, and regulation takes awareness. Anger, on the other hand, anger is automatic, guys, but automatic doesn't mean inevitable. Breaking generational anger doesn't mean you never feel it. It means that you don't let it lead you. There's a difference between feeling anger and becoming anger. And anger itself, it's not evil, guys. It's a signal. It tells you something feels out of control, something feels unfair, something feels overwhelming. But your kids don't experience anger as information. They experience it as instability. You don't think, oh, dad's just overstimulated. They think dad isn't safe right now. And that word right there, that safe, guys, it matters more than we care to admit sometimes. Because your kids don't need a father who never corrects them, because there is a place for that. They need a dad who corrects without crushing them. Authority feels steady, guys. And unpredictability, when we're hot and crazy, feels dangerous. Think about how you look to your kids. If you remember, if your dad ever got angry with you, how did your dad look? It looks like this giant person stomping through. It's like Godzilla. You know, you're stomping through the city, hot-headed, just swinging your arms, going crazy. That's what it looks like to kids. And that unpredictability is what happens when your anger runs ahead of regulation. Some dads, they explode, guys, and some dads, they withdraw and, you know, they go silent and cold. Some dads use sarcasm. I've used that before. I'm not proud of it. And some dads can intimidate without raising their voice. It's all different styles, but it's the same root. It's all unmanaged anger. And you can still love your kids deeply and still pass that anger down, because love alone is not going to break the pattern. Awareness does. Ownership does. Repairing it does. So let me ask you this question, and it might sting, because we just need to be honest here. When your kids think about your anger someday, what story are they going to tell? Ask them, because your kids will tell you. You know, our kids tell us things that we don't want to hear sometimes to put us in check, and sometimes it's for the best. Are they going to say things like, maybe, you know, dad got mad, but he always came back and made it right? Or will they say something like, well, I never knew which version of my dad I was going to get. That second one, guys, is how generational anger survives. It survives through that unpredictability. It's not through volume, like we said. It's little bits and little bits, but it's through the instability. And that instability, it teaches our kids to manage us. They get good at adjusting. They get good at shrinking. They get good at staying quiet. Not because they're trying to stay respectful, but because they're trying to stay safe. And if that lands heavy, because it should, that's good, because this new series is not about shame. It's about direction, guys. You're not going to break generational anger in one perfect week. You're going to break it in little bits and little moments built up over time. And honestly, is we have to check ourselves. The moment you feel it rising, take a pause. In those moments, you're going to have to choose your tone over your volume. You're going to have to choose stepping forward instead of stepping away. And sometimes you're going to have to come back and say, I shouldn't have handled it like that. That last part, guys, that's the power that can kill the generation anger. Most of us didn't grow up hearing our dads apologize. So when you do it, you're not weakening the authority, guys. You are redefining it. You're redefining the strength. You're teaching your kids that leadership includes self-control, that being a man doesn't mean dominating the room. It means stabilizing it. Listen, you can't control whether you get angry or not. It's just something we can't do. But you can control what you model when you feel it. And modeling regulation might be the most generationally disruptive thing that you will ever do, because your kids are watching how you handle that power, because your tone is power. Your size is power. Your authority in their life is power. And how you wield that power becomes their template for their lives. They're either going to learn, when I feel big emotions, I explode, or when I feel big emotions, I breathe, I slow down, and I respond. One creates fear, one creates leadership, guys. And here's the hope in all of this. It is never too late to change the inheritance. Even if you've blown up before, even if you've been sharp, even if you have been unpredictable to your kids, patterns are built through repetitions, which means they're also broke through repetition. One steady response at a time, one pause at a time, one repair at a time. So here's my question for you for the week. Are you breaking that generational anger, or are you refining it? Because the man that your kids remember isn't going to be the one who never got angry. It'll be the one who learned to lead himself first. And that's where this shifts, guys. Not from the perfection, because we all know that ain't a thing. It's from the ownership. That is how your inheritance changes. I love you guys. If you guys are enjoying this series so far, make sure to like, subscribe, share it with other dads. And I will see you guys next week.